Something's brewing in Atlanta, and it's not just early season adjustments. The Falcons are showing flashes of brilliance, but underneath, tension is building. Red zone struggles are costing them touchdowns, injuries are stacking up, and questions about the offense are growing. Michael Penn Jr. has a strong arm and the talent to push this team forward, but can he handle the pressure when it matters most? Can he carry the Falcons through tough defenses and critical moments? Now, I want to hear from you. Do you trust Penn as the QB1, or should the Falcons consider someone else? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this season could be defined by that very decision. Michael Penn Jr. is showing why he's considered one of the smartest young quarterbacks in the league. Even under pressure from some of the toughest defenses in the NFL, he's staying calm and making smart decisions. This season, Penn isn't just throwing deep passes for highlight reels. Instead, he's focusing on smart, calculated plays. He knows when to take a risk and when to play it safe. Right now, his team needs consistency more than flash, and that's exactly what he's giving. Through the first 2 weeks, Penn has completed 63.5% of his passes, with 1 touchdown and no interceptions. That's impressive for a young QB facing some of the league's top defenses. But stats alone don't tell the full story. What's really impressive is how he manages the offense under pressure. He reads the defense, adjusts his plays on the fly, and doesn't force risky throws. Instead, he uses short passes, checkdowns, and timing routes to move the team down the field efficiently. Opposing teams have noticed. They've studied the tape and adjusted their defense to take away his deep ball. Many defenses are now playing safe, daring him to throw underneath. But Penn is adapting. He's not trying to force plays that aren't there. He's finding the open man, keeping the ball safe, and making sure turnovers don't happen. That kind of maturity is rare in a quarterback this young. What makes Penn even more special is his poise in big moments. Against 2 of the league's top defenses, he hasn't panicked, even when the game was on the line. He understands that winning isn't about one spectacular throw, it's about consistent, smart execution. And that's exactly what he's giving the Falcons right now. Fans can see his growth week by week. The mistakes he might have made last season are becoming learning experiences this year. Each game, Penn is proving that he can be trusted to manage the offense, stay composed, and make smart decisions under pressure. In short, Michael Penn Jr. isn't just showing off talent, he's showing intelligence, maturity, and leadership. The Falcons need that right now, especially with red zone struggles and injuries piling up. And as the season goes on, his smart play could be the key to their success. One of the biggest challenges for the Falcons this season has been the red zone. Time and again, they're moving the ball well between the 20s but struggling to turn those opportunities into touchdowns. This is a problem that has followed them from last season and hasn't gone away yet. Take Week 1 against the Vikings as a clear example. Atlanta had 5 trips inside the red zone but came away with just 1 touchdown. On the other 4 trips, they settled for field goals. That's 4 times where they had a chance to score more points and put the game further out of reach. Small mistakes, a dropped pass, a misread, or a failed play call, added up and kept the Vikings in the game longer than they should have been. The stats and numbers show that the Falcons' offense is capable. They had good yardage, controlled the clock, and didn't turn the ball over. But when it comes to the red zone, it's a different story. Finishing drives is where the team struggles the most. Against weaker opponents, field goals can help you get a win. But in the NFL, against stronger teams, relying on field goals instead of touchdowns won't cut it. Every red zone trip needs to turn into points, and touchdowns, not field goals. This issue isn't just about talent, it's about execution. The Falcons have the players who can make plays, but for some reason, they can't seem to finish. Coaches have pointed out that it's not the scheme, it's the execution. And that makes this problem even more concerning because it can't be fixed by just changing a play or two. It's a consistent challenge that must be solved quickly. So here's the big question for Falcons fans: is this early season rust, or is it a deeper problem that could follow the team all season long? Can Michael Penn Jr. and the offense find a rhythm and finally convert these red zone trips into touchdowns, or will this struggle continue to limit the team's potential? This is the kind of problem that can define a season, and the Falcons need to find answers fast if they want to compete at the top of the NFC South. The Falcons know they can't keep struggling in the red zone, so the offense is making adjustments. Michael Penn Jr. is already playing smart, using safe options, checkdowns, and short timing routes to move the team down the field. These plays may not be flashy, but they help maintain possession, avoid turnovers, and set up scoring chances. But smart QB play alone isn't enough. To really fix the red zone problems, the Falcons need their key offensive players to step up. Bijan Robinson has the speed and agility to create mismatches near the goal line. Kyle Pitts, who's been quiet so far this season, needs to become a reliable red zone target again. And Penn is showing he can be patient and accurate in the short game, which is crucial for those tight red zone windows. The Falcons also need creativity from their coaching staff, led by offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. It's not just about calling standard plays, it's about designing schemes that take advantage of matchups, confuse defenses, and open up scoring opportunities. Whether it's motion, misdirection, or unexpected formations, creativity could be the key to turning field goals into touchdowns. The challenge is clear: the Falcons can move the ball effectively between the 20s, but the red zone has been their bottleneck. Every dropped pass, misread, or hesitation inside the 20-yard line costs points and momentum. The team has the talent, but they must execute at a higher level when it matters most. So here's the question hanging over Atlanta: can they finally turn those trips into touchdowns? Can the combination of smart QB play, dynamic players like Robinson, Pitts, and Penn, and creative coaching finally solve this recurring red zone problem? Or will it continue to hold the Falcons back, even when the rest of the offense is moving the ball efficiently? The answer to this could define their season. If the Falcons figure it out, they'll be a serious threat in the NFC South. If not, they'll continue to leave points on the field, giving opponents opportunities to stay in games they should be winning. While the offense is working on its red zone issues, the Falcons' defense is showing championship-level play. One of the biggest stars has been A.J. Terrell, who has proven to be a shutdown corner. Even in limited snaps, Terrell allows just over 1 yard of separation per target, making life extremely difficult for opposing receivers. He's a player that can change the game with a single coverage, and his presence gives the entire defense confidence. But injuries are starting to pile up, and the Falcons are feeling the pressure. A.J. Terrell is dealing with a hamstring issue and didn't practice on Wednesday. James Pierce Jr. has a groin injury. Linebacker Caden Ellis is nursing a neck problem, and tight end Charlie Warner is out with an ankle injury. These are key contributors across the roster, and losing them could test the team's depth. The Falcons are preparing for every scenario. They signed Keith Taylor Jr. to the practice squad and brought in players like Eli Ricks and Air Speed for workouts. On top of that, backups like Mike Ford Jr., Clark Phillips III, and Natron Brooks are ready to step up if needed. Even rookies like Kobe Bryant and veterans like C.J. Henderson are waiting in the wings. Despite these challenges, there's no panic in Atlanta. The defense has already proven it can dominate games. Against the Vikings, they held Minnesota to just 6 points, allowing the Falcons to escape with a win. This shows their resilience and depth, even when injuries hit. What stands out is how the team manages these situations. Every player knows their role, every backup is prepared, and the coaching staff is ready to adjust schemes to maximize strengths. This adaptability is what makes the Falcons' defense so dangerous. Even with key players missing, they remain confident, disciplined, and hard to score against. In short, the Falcons' defense is the backbone of the team. A.J. Terrell's elite play sets the tone, and the rest of the unit steps up when injuries occur. If the offense can clean up its mistakes, this defense could be the difference between a good season and a championship run. In addition to their strong starters, the Falcons are starting to get some key players back from injury, which could make a big difference as the season progresses. Rookie offensive lineman Jack Nelson practiced for the first time this year after recovering from a calf injury. His return adds much-needed depth to the offensive line and gives the Falcons more options in protecting Michael Penn Jr. on the wide receiver side. Casey Washington is progressing well from a concussion he suffered in Week 1. While he's not yet at full strength, his presence adds another weapon for the offense, especially in the red zone. Other limited participants, like Darnell Mooney and DeMarco Helms, are also trending in the right direction, meaning the team could see more of its roster contributing in the coming weeks. Depth is crucial, especially with the Falcons facing tough divisional matchups, like their upcoming game against the Panthers. Injuries have already forced players like A.J. Terrell, James Pierce Jr., and Caden Ellis to sit out or limit their practice time. Having backups who are ready to step up could be the difference between winning and losing close games. The Falcons' front office and coaching staff have been preparing for this. Players on the practice squad, including Kobe Bryant and veteran C.J. Henderson, along with other backups, have been given opportunities in practice and workouts to stay game-ready. The team knows that depth isn't just a safety net, it's a potential game-changer when injuries strike at critical moments. So the big question now becomes, will these backups step up when it matters most? Can rookies and second-string players fill the gaps left by injured starters and keep the team performing at a high level? Fans will be watching closely, because how well the backups perform could directly affect the Falcons' chances in the NFC South. With some players returning and others waiting in the wings, Atlanta's roster is slowly getting stronger. But the true test will come when these backups are forced into action. Their performance could determine whether the Falcons can maintain momentum and overcome their early season challenges. Looking at the big picture, the Falcons have the pieces to compete at the top of the NFC South. Michael Penn Jr.'s smart, steady quarterback play, combined with an elite defense led by A.J. Terrell, gives the team a strong foundation. When both units perform at their best, Atlanta has the potential to dominate games and control the division. But the NFL is a league of razor-thin margins. Every play matters. Every possession counts. And every missed opportunity, especially in the red zone, can be the difference between winning and losing. The Falcons have already shown they can move the ball effectively between the 20s, but red zone execution and finishing drives remain the biggest questions. Even small mistakes could cost them crucial points in tight games. On the defensive side, the team has shown incredible resilience. Injuries to key players like Terrell, Pierce Jr., and Ellis are testing the depth of the roster. The Falcons have prepared for these situations with backups and rookies, but relying on second-string players always carries risks. Every snap matters, and the defense must maintain its championship-level play even when starters are out. For the offense, the pressure is clear. Penn is playing smart, but the team must convert red zone trips into touchdowns, and key players like Banan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Penix must step up. The coaching staff must continue to be creative and adaptable to maximize every scoring opportunity. So the question hanging over Atlanta is simple but critical: can the Falcons fix their execution issues before the injuries test them further? Will the offense finally find rhythm in the red zone? Will the backups rise to the occasion on defense? Can this team put it all together and truly take control of the NFC South? This is a pivotal moment for the Falcons. The talent is there, the quarterback is growing, and the defense is elite. But in a league where every detail matters, the margin for error is extremely small. Fans will be watching closely to see if Atlanta can overcome these early season challenges and start building momentum for a strong run this year. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that like button if you trust Michael Penn Jr. as the Falcons' QB1. And don't forget to leave a comment if you think someone else should take the spot. Your opinion matters. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay ahead of every Falcons update. We've got more exclusive breakdowns, insights, and highlights coming your way, and you won't want to miss a single moment. As the season unfolds, the Falcons will face challenges, big plays, and critical moments. Watch Penn, Terrell, and the team in action as they fight to take control of the NFC South. Every snap, every decision, every touchdown counts. Stay tuned, stay hyped, and as always, go Falcons!